Well, okay, my friends, the coronavirus has hit Phoenix, Arizona, and I have been getting asked a lot of questions about the housing market. So, I'm going to break down today's video is going to be March of 2020 compared to March of 2019. Now, these numbers came out on March 7th before the whole coronavirus, all the lockdown has hit across the entire states, especially here in Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm going to give you the housing market first, compare 2020 to 2019. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the coronavirus and how that's going to affect the real estate market, or even if it is actually going to affect the real estate market here in Phoenix, Arizona. So with that being said, let's deep dive into the housing market for Phoenix, Arizona right now, comparing March of 2020 compared to March of 2019. Let's go.
This is where they go for the real estate info. I'm here to lead and help you succeed. One thing that you'll learn about me is I'm on a mission to get the knowledge to the world when making decisions and buying and selling real estate.
Victor Huerta.
Remember my name.
Okay, my friends, if you have not done so, click that subscribe button and that bell to get notified when we drop the latest video. I mean, we are just bringing some home buyer content, home seller content, the Phoenix real estate market updates, so you can be mindful when you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in some real estate. Now, like I said before, I am Victor Huerta, a top producing agent here in Phoenix, Arizona. We are going to deep dive into the housing market of March 7th of 2020 compared to March 7th of 2019. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the coronavirus to see if it's even going to affect the real estate market here in Phoenix. So with that being said, let's just deep dive right into the content. Okay, my friends, so you are going to be seeing me switch in and out of some cameras here, okay? I have an entire studio set up. I am the one-man show. So I will be coming from camera to camera, okay, back and forth. And then I will also be showing you my tablet as well. And this is where we're going to start deep diving into the information, okay? As you can see here is I got my tablet here. We're going to get down into the Phoenix real estate residential market update for March 7th of 2020 to March 7th of 2019. Now, I will be looking up and down, but I want to bring you the data right now. So let's just deep dive into this. So active listings for sale. I'm going to do some highlights here. And if I had to remove me from the camera, please excuse me. I will remove myself from the camera. We are going to start at active listings for sale, which is 11,087. That is right. We are down 41%. Now, if you have not known by now, we are in a seller's market. We don't have a whole lot of inventory at all. Okay, so being that's why we are down a negative 41%. 41%. As we come back to the tablet, now we're going to get down into, there I go, messing up already. Hasn't took that long. Here we go. Let's go back here. Okay, we are going to get down and make sure that's in the screen so you can see is really big is listings under contract. That is 11.4%. Now, this number is pretty much saying that, hey, if you have a nice property, it's going to sell, okay, if it is priced correctly. So as you can see, that listings under contract is 12,260, okay? Now, if we look at this number, is active listings for sale, 11,087. Look at those numbers. I mean, there is more homes under contract than there are listings. And that tells you right now is that we are actually in a big seller's market. So let me bring in the monthly median sales price, which is $297,000. Okay, that's the price tag, the average price tag of the house right now. I believe it's a little bit higher, just depending on the markets, but we do still have some great pricing in the West Valley, okay, in the East Valley, the Southeast Valley as well. But if you waited last year, okay, and you're going to buy a house this year, prices have gone up 12.1%. That is what it is telling us right now. So if you wait till next year, who knows? I think the prices are continuing to go up in 2020, even maybe 2021, just depending on what all this happens with the coronavirus. But we'll get into that later. So let's get into this real quick. Closed sales right here in the middle. If you could see that, yes, 18.6%. Total monthly sales, 8,253. Okay, now let's deep dive right into here is listing success rates. If you are a seller, you have a 89.2% chance of selling your house. When back in 2019, it was 81.9%. And look at that, March of 2018 was 83.6%. So if your house is in a great condition, shows well, it is priced correctly, okay, and it is digitally marketed correctly, you're going to sell your house. Okay, that's almost a 90% chance of selling your house, meaning that only 10.8% have canceled or expired. Okay, so keep that in mind, sellers. Right now, if you are looking to sell your house, it is the time. You have a 90% chance of selling your house for top dollar in the least amount of time. Now, let's get in, make sure this is in the screen. Months of supply. Okay, in 2018, we had 3 months. 2019, we had 3.5. And March of 2020, as I shoot this video, we have 2 months of supply. Highly seller market. Okay. Now, this is all brought to you by the Cronford Report. Tina Tamborn, she's an ASU. She works out of the ASU. She crunches all the numbers for us for the Arizona housing, Arizona MLS. So I subscribe to this. I have to pay for this to bring you the information. So I wanted to bring you the overall housing market update first. So that is exactly what we're looking at. So just to compare March 7th of 2020 to March 2019, we have 11,087 active listings for sale. Under contract, 12,260. That is up 11.4%. Monthly median sales price comparing last year to this year, we are up 12.1%, and the average sales price is $297. Closed sales 8,253, up 18.6%. Okay. Listing success rate 89.2%, and months of supply 2. So if you are a seller, you're still in the seller's market. Okay, you still have the great opportunity to selling your house, cashing out, making the most amount of money in the least amount of time to go buy yourself another house and cashing out your equity. If you are a home buyer, you're going to have to put your best foot forward right now. If you're looking for a house, you're going to have to go all in. Okay, if you're asking for seller concessions, you might have to increase the price of your purchase contract. You might have to reduce some of the home inspection time. Might not ask for home warranty. Might not have to ask for a fridge, washer, and dryer. That's going to be all up to you and your agent. But that is the overall housing market update for 2020. Now, we are going to deep dive. Okay? Give you some information on the buyer section, the seller section, and then we're going to get into what's going on with this whole coronavirus. Hey, welcome back, my friends. So we're going to get into the home buyers section for the market updates of March 7th of 2020 to March 7th of 2019. We are going to compare some stats here. Now, I'm not going to be discussing anything about the coronavirus right now. I'm going to give you that at the end of the video on what I think might happen. We're going to deep dive into some other data that I'm seeing being pushed out here in Arizona. A lot more people that are smarter than me, but you never know what can happen. Okay. Now, I'm just keeping it real. This channel is about keeping it real. I am not forecasting the market. I am giving you what I'm reading and pretty much trying to convert it into layman terms to disperse it to you. But for right now, we are going to get into the home buyer section for the market update. So follow me as we deep dive into the buyer section now. Because there is a lot of text in the home buyer section, which is very important for you to really understand what's going on as a home buyer, I am going to remove me and just show you the tablet. Okay, so I will be talking directly to you right here, and then I will come back on the camera. So let's take it just officially a frenzy, 11% more contracts than listings for sale. Okay, contracts are over $1 million are up 60% over last year. Now this section is for buyers. Okay, let me see if I can blow this up a little bit more. Okay, here we go. Not even COVID-19 coronavirus can slow down the greater Phoenix housing market. For every 100 active listings in Arizona, there are 111 that have already been under contract. Okay, that's a little inside joke. Greater Phoenix is officially a frenzy, and it's only March. We expect to see this continue at least through May without relief, as buyer demand typically highest in spring. Now, we haven't even hit spring yet, and it is a frenzy out there of buyers trying to pick up properties, and sellers are not actually listing their property for sale, so we don't have a whole lot of listings. This might change a little bit after the coronavirus, but we're still going to be in a seller's market. So let's deep dive into this a little bit more. Okay, now it's even more dramatic in the Southeast Valley, West Valley, and North Phoenix. With that being said, we're looking at prices between $175,000 to $300,000. It is very difficult to find a house right now that is less than $300,000. Okay, just keeping it real. Now, let's give an example. On March 7th, right here in Glendale, there were only 3 properties for sale between $175,000 to $200,000, and 25 were under contract. If you see my last video, I think I pulled a bunch of stats for you guys. Is in Chandler, okay, there were 3 properties active between $200,000 and $250,000, and 37 under contract. Okay, in North Phoenix, Moon Valley, there were 8 properties for sale between $250,000 and $300,000, and only 30 under contract. So this tells you that we have a inventory problem. Okay, if you are looking for a house under $300,000, it's gonna be tough. It's not impossible. It's just gonna be tough. It's just that we have to move quickly, fast, write your offer with not a whole lot of terms favorable to you, and you're not gonna overpay. You may be thinking, well, I'm gonna overpay for a property if I buy one right now, and no, you're not. We're still seeing appraisals come in at value a little bit higher, but appraisers are being very cautious in appraising properties. We don't want to have a 2008. Okay, these appraisers know what they're doing. Also, if the inspections go through well, you're buying a very great house. If they're not, you still got the ability to back out, or we got the ability to negotiate on price. So that is for another topic. So let's go back into the buyer section. Okay, so there is a reason why people continue to pounce on what's available for sale. The average, let me erase that. Okay, the average price for a 1,500 to 2,000 square foot home now is $331,000 and continues to rise. Okay, that may seem alarming considering it was $324,000 in the peak of 2006. But you got to remember the interest rates, guys and girls. In April of 2006, with the average rate of 6.51, okay, on a 30-year fixed loan with 10% down, your payment was $18,054. Today, the average rate is 3.45%. That same home is $1,331 per month, a savings of $523. Now, if you're going to buy a house right now, the rates are crazy low. Okay, this was back in 2006. Okay, this is why you're seeing a huge savings in your payment right here of $523. Like I said before, you're never going to overpay for a property because you still got to get the appraisal. So, with that being said, is it a good time to buy a property? Is it a good time to buy a property? Well, ultimately, that's going to be up to you. Okay? It's ultimately going to be up to you because I don't know what your budget is. I don't know what your mindset is. I don't know exactly what you're trying to accomplish. But we're still going to continue to rise in 2020, even with this coronavirus. Okay? There's word out there that home prices are going to decrease, etc. Phoenix, we might see a little small price correction, but we're not going to see a huge drop with this whole virus issue. A lot of sellers are taking their houses out the market because they don't want people in their house, right? They don't want to get sick. There's a lot of home buyers out there that are just holding back because they're not worried about their jobs. But if you have a great job, you've been with the employed for many years, okay, I know there's fear out there in the streets, but the interest rates are so low right now. I mean, comparing it to like 2006, when a lot of people were buying houses at 6%, we're down in the low threes, mid threes, high threes, maybe fours, even the low 2.99. Now, depending on what the Fed did with the rate cuts, that's not going to affect mortgages too much. We have to wait to play that out to see what happens. But it's most definitely the right time to buy just because the rate, if you want to buy and need to buy, depending in your situation. With that being said, that is the buyer section for the housing market update for March 7th of 2020. Okay, welcome back, my friends. We are going to get down and dirty into the home seller section, which is actually pretty short. Okay, if you are a home seller, you're handling the bread, right? The money. I mean, you can make your own terms, your own price, etc. But with this whole coronavirus, we're going to kind of deep dive and see what's going on, if this is going to affect you as a home seller, or even if you're on the sideline thinking about selling your house. So, with that being said, I am going to get down and dirty into my tablet and show you the data. Now, I'm going to have to remove myself from the camera just because I am not going to be able to be on the corner, right, and going to have to be covering up some of the text. So why don't we do this? Let's take a look at what's going on if you're a home seller right here. And then let's get right into this. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below, and I will respond accordingly. So for sellers, there's not much more to say to sellers under $500,000, which is right here, okay? Frankly, their homes may be sold before I am done doing this video. The stark gap between supply and demand doesn't ease up until the budget goes over $600,000. Okay, this is the gap where you're going to see more inventory, which is over $600,000. Sellers in areas such as North Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, Camelback Corridor, and downtown Phoenix still have plenty of competition to be continued with, but price well updated move-in ready homes will sell to buyers. Okay, so you got to be priced correctly. You have to be your house has to show well. It has to be updated in order to sell. Now let's get into the luxury market. The luxury market is doing exceptionally well. However, sellers should not expect the stampedes seen in the rest of the market. There were 522 properties under contract over $1 million. Okay, over $1 million. That is up a whopping 60% over last year at this time. However, there are still, right here, 16,057 competing properties for sale in this price range at $1 million that have sold in February, average about 5 to 6 months on the market. So, what does all this mean to you as a home seller? Well, if you have a house that is priced at $500,000 and below, okay, that shows well, that is priced accordingly, okay, it's going to sell. You're just going to have to make sure it shows well, smells nice, it's upgraded, it's well kept. If it's in a great location, it's going to sell. So you need to think about, if I'm going to sell my house, where am I going to go? That's the most important thing, is where will you go? You go in new construction, you go in another resale, you're leaving the state, you want to move to a different city, maybe a different school district. What exactly is in your mind of you thinking on what you want to do? The reason why I say that is you need to make a plan with your agent, with me, etc. And you need to make that plan because once we put your house on the market, you're going to get a lot of showings, you're going to get a lot of contracts, you're going to get a lot of offers. We're seeing about 10 contracts per property. Okay? If your house is in the right condition, right location, it is upgraded, you're going to get about 10 offers. 10 offers. You're going to have all these offers to look at, and then you're going to be able to think about exactly what you want to do. So if you're a home seller, think about exactly where you want to go. Let's look at the market where you want to buy first before we put your house on the market, because you're going to sell, you're going to make a lot of bank, you can cash out that equity. So with that being said, that is the seller's portion of the housing market for March 20th of 2020. March 7th of 2020 compared to March 7th of 2019. And now let's get into this whole little small coronavirus and see how it's going to affect Phoenix, Arizona, or if it's even going to affect Phoenix, Arizona right now. Okay, my friends, I'm going to give you some information from our brokerage, from our broker. So this is the same information that came down from Tina Tamborn and some other resources here. So this is every information about the coronavirus. Okay, so right now we're going to talk about, is the coronavirus actually going to affect housing prices and the real estate market here in Phoenix? We are all over on top of this. We are speaking to, I'm speaking to more people that are a lot smarter than me, who understand the entire process and understand how this whole virus might affect the real estate economy here, especially here in Phoenix, Arizona, because I am located here in Phoenix. So with that being said, I'm going to remove myself, get into the tablet, and let's see what we can see here. You might not be able to see all the comments here, but I am going to go ahead and read it for you right now. So communication is key. Tina Tamborn gave a very valuable presentation yesterday and said she doesn't feel this is going to be as negative on the real estate market as we may think. Some key points. So let's get into some key points right here. The housing market is slow to respond to any shift. Prices are not subject to decline, even in a threat of a crisis. Institutional cash buyers may stall or walk. Buyers looking for short-term rentals may stall. VRBOs and Airbnb owners may decide to sell based on lack of demand, therefore increasing supply slightly. Price reductions are not spiking. Phoenix is more diversified in the employer pool than it was in 2008 and not as dependent in tourism and real estate. Lending has been conservative and most homeowners have affordable fixed payments. We still have real demand for housing. She said some things to consider. We are still going to be in a seller's market. However, instead of having 10 backup offers, you may have 5. Your seller may have to make some repairs instead of saying as is. And Tina Tamborn really stressed communication and education. So there you have it, folks, is with the coronavirus, okay, trying to foresee the future here in Phoenix, Arizona, we're not going to see too much of a change. Will we see more inventory? A little bit more inventory because of Airbnb, VRBO. I mean, people probably don't want to be staying in other people's houses, and those owners probably don't want people staying in their houses as well. So with that being said, I hope that helps you with the whole coronavirus here in Phoenix, Arizona. And pretty much that's what it's it. We're still going to be in a seller's market. If you're thinking about buying a house, it's probably still the greatest time to buy, just depending on your job situation and your income situation. You got to be secure first there before you purchase anything. Okay, I advise all my clients that is make sure if you've been with your employer for a long time, you're making great pay, you know you're going to have a steady job, you know you're going to come back and you're going to have a job for years and employment for years, then, and if you're looking to buy, then it's time to buckle down and buy. I mean, the rates are still good. I think rates are going to fall probably, give it probably about 2-3 weeks, maybe a month. I think rates will decline decline a little bit more. Right now, they have increased because the Fed had cut the rates. That doesn't affect mortgages. That affects more like your credit cards. If you're going to finance a car, if you're going to get a loan for a boat, that type of situation is going to affect your finances. Okay, as mortgage, it's not going to affect you. Actually, rates are higher right now. So with that being said, that is what's going on with the coronavirus here in Arizona. I hope you enjoyed the entire video of the housing market update. So once again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that bell so you can get notified once we drop the latest video. I mean, we're just bringing some home buyer content, home seller content, the Phoenix real estate market updates like this with the coronavirus, so you can be mindful when you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in some real estate. Victor Huerta, and we'll see you on the next video. If you have any questions, email me at victor@freeagentproperties.com. Again, that email address is victor@freeagentproperties.com, where we release new videos each week on home buyer tips, home seller tips, the Phoenix housing market updates, so you can be mindful when you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate. We will talk to you soon.